I want to know more about why you have Willie on there not playing Rogue.
Yes. What is up with this? He has the perfect Southern Belle accent.
Why? Why is this not happening? Why is this not happening? And I am so disappointed in this. Really disappointed.
Welcome again to this episode of Zero to Hero. I hope all you grid travelers have found the right podcast to listen to. Hi, I'm Billy, and welcome to another episode of Zero to Hero. Tonight is an interesting night, but first, I need to address some issues here.
What issues you got?
Well, I'm always joined by you, Jim. The man...
That's not technically an issue.
It's a QC issue, okay? The beard. It's gotta go.
You're a dead man. You're a dead man sitting across the video screen from me.
All right.
You're a dead
but
man.
Yes, so I'm always joined by Jim. The man who's all that and a bag of low-sodium chips. You like that, Jim?
Are you saying I'm not salty?
You are. But how'd that go? Did you like that non-insult?
I feel attacked.
Okay.
Moving on, we have a really fun guest on tonight, making his official debut back on the podcast. Well, his actual debut on the podcast. The last time he was on, it was on live, and I think that was about it. Maybe an interview.
Uh-huh.
That was a little while back, like when we first started, and life got in the way of everything, and we haven't seen him in a while, but he's finally back. We're welcoming back on Tai Tiger.
Thank you for having me. Hi.
He's in the middle.
Oh no. So
yeah,
as we know, Tai is a talented story writer with a future foundations with a touch of mutants, a YouTube creator, and a great creative person.
Creative's a strong word. I don't
you.
think we want to use
Jesus
that one. Maybe,
Christ.
like,
Yeah.
not.
I was going to say, don't stroke my ego too much.
Like creative with quotation marks. We'll use that. Creative with
Thanks.
So as
Cheers.
we know, as we've talked to him over what, a year, it's slowly been building up.
Yeah.
And then you've pretty much like hit the ground running with your audio stories, and
That sounds right, yeah.
been interesting to listen to. I especially love Mutants for Hire and how you advertise on the show, and like you even get family members involved, and it was fun.
Yeah.
So, Jam.
What do you want? I didn't do it. I swear to God, you can't pin nothing on me.
You have no proof.
You gotta have proof. You gotta have proof.
If there's no solid evidence, there's no crime.
So as everybody probably doesn't know that your channel on YouTube is Tiger Tales, and you're the one and only, and sticking it to Carol Baskins. So
Freaking Carol Baskins. Okay, so I was talking to Ty about this earlier, and Billy, you know this, but if you've seen Tiger King,
Oh yeah.
the guy Tiger King himself, what's his name?
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic. So I live with about like 10 minutes away from the prison he's in. And
That's bananas.
so I'm sitting there, and I'm watching Tiger King, and I'm like, okay, and like it comes out like he was moved to DFW's mental health prison for the mentally insane. I'm like, there's only one in Texas, like only one in DFW. I'm like, it's right next to me. I looked it up. I'm like, he lives right down the street. And like lock the door. I'm like, locking the door.
Yeah. Make sure the cat's there, Jay.
Dang
your
right. I'm
cat.
like, all right, where's the cats? They're alive. Okay. Locking the door. Jesus. Okay, but yeah, so, well, we want to welcome back onto the podcast proper. Welcome back, Ty. You've been on the
Thank
Discord a lot. His name is General
Yes.
Kenobi. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but he also has a Blue Ranger, like the Blue Time Force Ranger, as his like icon, and his name is General Kenobi, which makes no sense.
He's mixing.
None.
That's
Mixing
the
two
point.
genres
That's
here.
the point.
You know what? We're gonna get with someone, and we're gonna have someone put up General Grievous on theirs and have
Oh.
have a picture of General Grievous and maybe like blue Time Force Ranger on it. That's what we're gonna
Oh
do.
yes. Can I just say I've been like around now the Zero to Hero like for almost a year, like you guys said. I'm still not a partner. Just putting
There's-
that out there.
Well, that's
There's an
I've been on
acceptance
this.
fee and some beans for breakfast.
I'm cool with that.
oh, he's British.
Yeah, damn it. Damn it.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
So yeah, if anyone's listening to this, or when people listen to this, I'm still not a partner. It's been a couple weeks, and yeah, just saying.
Oh, we're gonna have a little ceremony, and he's gonna be like, one of us, and have like the
One
Oompa
of us,
Loompas.
One of us.
No, not the Oompa Loompas. What the junk traders off of Star Wars?
Oh, the sand
Yeah.
people. Not sand people. No.
I don't know what they're called.
Are you talking about the Jawas or the Tusken Raiders?
Not the
The
Tusken
little,
Raiders,
the little small ones that
Jawas.
Jawas.
Jawas,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna have a
Jawas,
bunch of
yes,
them, just
yes.
like one of us.
You know
Okay, I will do a deal. I will change my profile picture on Discord to Obi-Wan Kenobi if I get made partner.
Nah.
what? Maybe there's a discussion about this, how we don't want this to happen because it's already confusing enough.
It really is.
You know what? Can we get what? Can we get Jawas and Ewoks fighting
Yes.
in the background? But
That
can
would
it
be
also
brilliant.
not be on either one of their planets? Can it be on a water worlds where they're playing
Yes.
polo?
Can we be oversized?
That
Can we be
makes perfect
oversized
sense.
Ewoks? And then when people ask us if we're Wookiees, we
Wookiees?
get really mad.
Can we just scream at them like rah? Throwing things at them and stuff.
I agree.
Yeah, you can be giant Ewoks, but your spears have to stay exactly the same size as normal Ewok spears. You're just
This is
carrying
the
around
first
tiny
thing
little
this man said in all this whole recording that I agree with.
stick. Thanks. Cheers. I'll just leave now.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys
All
later.
right.
End the show.
Hang up, like, yeah.
Bye.
Do you want to be a hero, but you're not?
All right. So, you have been working with some other people from the Zeo to Hero, and you've been working on your own stuff. And one of the things
Yeah.
you've been working on is, you've created your own Tiger Tales channel, which is all your own written stuff, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So, all your own written stuff, and then you've been working with one of our friends, two of our friends, Willie with a Y,
Yep.
or Cosplay
That's it.
D637, and Mark with a
Yes.
K. It's KMARC. No. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a real quick break. We're gonna come right back to this, and we will we'll jump into all our fun stuff we're gonna talk about.
Yes.
Power glove replacements. You've been looking for that new glove that just fits right. Come on over to the Zeo to Hero glove replacement.
Oh, this is a
department.
nice glove.
That's right. We
I don't know
branched
what's
out
going on, but it feels
from
really nice on my hand.
law
But it even feels
to
really
gloves.
nice on my
We
right
want to
hand,
make
too.
sure you
Oh,
have
these are
all the
nice
gloves
fire
you
gloves.
need.
How
Your
much are
power
these
gloves
fire
are
over here?
important to
This
fight
stuff is pretty good.
all the evil beings
look
in the
at you, they got
universe.
cool designs on
Come
them.
get your power
Man,
gloves.
This is a really cool power
Give us a
glove
call
design.
at Zeo to Hero
Man,
Power
I really
Glove
love these things from
Distribution
Zeo to Hero
at
Power Gloves.
555-553-0553. Ow! Damn it, that hurt. Ty. So, you've been working on your own stuff and doing your own thing without being a Zeo to Hero partner.
Ow.
Uh-huh.
Maybe think about that, man. You're doing pretty good. Mad respect. Mad
The
respect.
pain.
Right. But you've been working on your own stuff, and one of the things you've been working on is I know what you've been working on is about mutants, called Mutants for Hire.
Yes.
And we have
Yep.
one of our old guests on as well on that show as an announcer, Chris. And he does a great job in that. But I want to know more about why you have Willie on there not playing Rogue.
Yes. What is up with this? He has the perfect Southern Belle accent.
Why? Why
Well-
is this not happening? Why is this not happening? And I am so disappointed in this. Really disappointed.
I may have to do a chapter where I don't ask cosplay wife to voice Rogue. I ask
Yes,
him to do both.
so he could talk to himself.
We need this to happen because I want him to do both.
We need more Southern Belle Willie with the Y.
Oh my goodness! But if you could, can you explain to us a little bit about Mutants for Hire? Because I listened to some of it. I haven't got through all of it just yet, but I've listened to it. I think it's
You're
pretty
missing
good.
out, then. I've heard.
But do you want to explain more about what's going on with it?
So Mutants for Hire started as the combination of I wanted to do something with superheroes, Marvel and DC. I'm a big fan of both of them, and I also wanted to work with voice actors. Mutants for Hire is the first time I worked with other people, relying on other people. And that's how Mutants for Hire came to be. I chose the X-Men because they're extremely popular, and with the X-Men themselves, there's so goddamn many of them that it is believable that there'd be new ones that you haven't heard of and stuff like that. And I found it really awkward to ask people to voice these mutants. So I actually did TikToks, I put it on Instagram, and I said, look, you make yourself a character, and you let me use the character and you voice them, and maybe we could do something. So there's 4 main Mutants for Hire characters. I made one and voiced one. The other 3 are actually voiced and made by other people, and I'm just working with them, which is a lot of fun. I'm restricted by other people's rules and restrictions, which is kind of cool. And the general story is, it's in the name, they're Mutants for Hire. They'll do anything as long as they get paid. In the first couple chapters, one of them's killed someone.
So this sounds
they've
like...
rescued the mayor's daughter. They're just they're just 4 dudes who have fun and get paid, and I can work with it.
Yeah.
It feels like it sometimes.
Okay. Before we get too far in this, I want to make a correction real quick. Ty, you've been on the show before.
Yes.
We had an episode called Unnecessary Censorship, and it was beautiful, where we just bleeped out so many things, and it really
That didn't
bothered
need it.
Mark. So many unnecessary censorships, and it was hilarious. I'm just thinking about it. I was like, oh wait,
Yeah.
we've had him on.
So when you're doing these stories, when you're working with other people, what do you say is the biggest learning curve when you're working with multiple people at the same time?
Oh, I would have to say time frames. I've had to learn myself when to write certain stories, editing them, and then also giving people time, because obviously everyone has their own life. A lot of my voice actors are based in America. I live in the UK, so there's a good time difference between us.
Why can't the
And,
UK just be on American time like everyone else is?
I know, right? I know, it's a pain. And like, I understand that, like, one of my voice actors, actually no, several of my voice actors are parents. They have jobs, etc., etc. One of my voice actresses is actually going for exams at the minute. So I understand that people have lives. So I've had to learn myself to give myself a time frame of when to write it, how long do I need, give myself a rough estimate of how long I want this certain chapter to be, and then also figure out, who's got the longest, most amount of lines, who doesn't, how much time does everyone need. This person's a parent, right? I'll give them a bit more time than this person. Yeah. And time is everything, and time frames are very important, I think.
That's a really good thing to say, man. Like time's a huge. Like that's why our lives didn't happen last year. So like we were doing a bunch of lives and everything for like a few weeks, but we kept trying to have guests on and everyone else, and we just could not get any timing down for anyone, and it was really tricky to get stuff done because people have their own life they're working with, and it happens, and the fact you can admit to it right now, it's fantastic because. Things happen.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So timing, I do want to ask because we're going to go in the future here and talk about one of the other stories we're writing on. It's called Magnificent Megaforce. Can you tell me what's going on with this? Because I listened to like 5 episodes and I am still confused. No, it's actually really good. It's just I want to know more about it without having to listen to episodes. Spoiler it! Come on, spoiler it!
So with Magnificent Megaforce, I'm a big fan of Gokaiger. It's a shame that Super Mega Force was a bit of a flop. I love the idea of using previous Ranger powers, so I thought to myself, okay, I don't want to adapt Gokaiger, that has already been done, that epically failed, so what can I do? And I thought of the idea of, well, what if there was a universe, because the multiverse exists in Power Rangers, it's a thing, we know this. What if there was a universe where the Legendary Battle never happened, the Super Mega Force failed, and the Armada just completely took over the world?
And Rocky died like well before his time.
Yeah, so the Magnificent Megaforce timeline is 50 years ahead of Super Megaforce. So I wanted to make a world where I could play with it, I could describe a lot of stuff. So that's why I've got different districts. Each one's going to be different. Different rules for different people. Humanity's a bit dumbed down a bit because of the Armada rule. So like, there's slavery. There's so much bad going on. I can have just two people going around, and I can basically do what I want with it. And I can use, technically speaking, any Ranger power that has existed, because they're now looking for the lost Ranger keys. So that was the idea.
So the question is, can you have them use like Zeo powers?
The idea was, if there's a key of it, then yeah. If there isn't a key of it, yeah, because I've already made a chapter where they use Ninja Steel, and that never got made into keys. So yeah, I actually hint at Turbo at some point.
Technically, they've been making keys over for Gokaiger. Technically,
that's very true. Technically,
there's
but
keys.
Yeah, I do.
Series.
Yeah, I do want to use Zeo at some point. Yeah.
Ah, okay. All right.
So now I wanna ask this question about Future Foundation. Then, okay. Okay. And Future Foundation. What time period is this taking place in?
I have never actually established a time period per se. I've just made it that certain Ranger teams have happened a little while behind, so it takes place a good, like, at least a couple years after. I think the latest series that I've introduced, timeline wise, I think might be Jungle Fury. It's about.
Okay, then how is Adam still doing karate?
I needed a way that Dante, the main character, would be, 1, good at martial arts, 2, he can teach the others martial arts, and 3, how he would know the Yellow Ranger. So I thought, if I make his apprentice Adam, because yes, the Mighty Morphin Rangers get used all the time for everything, and it's always mainly Zack. So I thought, okay, I'll mix it up, I'll make it Adam. I do like Adam, he's a cool Ranger. And that way, that also plays on the Once a Ranger crossover, where we had Adam and Kira in the same room, so that I can play on that and say that they met up after, and they became friends or whatever, and that gave me the idea of, right, Chloe, the Yellow Dino Thunder Ranger, can be friends with Dante, because I needed there to be a friendship somehow.
To be fair, I also think Adam's like a better Black Ranger than Zack was.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Like, he
The
was
only thing
cool,
Zach really
but...
had going was his hip hop keto.
Well, if you go into the comics, he's pretty cool in
well-
comics, but the comics isn't the show.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. But okay, so these are 3 different shows you're writing, and are you writing them all at the same time, or are you taking breaks? What's going on with this?
So Future Foundation, I literally had an episode of that each week. It was every Monday, and I took a air quote mid-season finale sort of thing. The way that the story rounded off, I was like, all right, I can pause it there. So that's actually been on break for a couple of weeks. That's coming back in January, and that's where I brought Mutants for Hire in. I've had so many other storylines and voice actors involved now. And at the moment, I currently have 2 stories out each week, and I have on my phone I have notes and a time period, like a time frame of what comes out when. So on my channel, you'll have, 8 to 9 stories a month, and they'll all be different stuff. I just make sure that there's something for everybody at different time frames.
That's really cool. And okay, so I was listening through Future Foundation. I know they're all different series and everything. And I'm sitting there listening, and I hear this really, really unique name that I remember really well, and it was Mark, the Red Corner Stranger. That got brought up during Dante, Chloe, and I think Luca were hanging out at one time, and they were like, "Who's the Red Corner Stranger?" And they're like, "Oh, it's a different universe." And I was like, "I know this person."
Wait, wasn't this person just in Ultra Rangers? Dun,
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 dun.
dun. What?
All right.
So there's gonna
Maybe.
so
Maybe.
Mark's gonna be showing up in yours here pretty soon, huh?
Well, the idea is, yes, literally, Future Foundation starts back up, chapter 16, with Mark's introduction, and it's him leaving Universe 19, and he's going straight to Future
wow.
Foundation,
Okay.
which is Universe 113. So the story, literally, I'm picking up Mark's story and putting it straight
Is he
into
still
Future Foundation.
chasing the royal? Okay.
Nephis,
okay.
yes.
On that note, we're going to take a real quick break. We're going to come back with more about Mark's story coming up. Do you have class action lawsuits against you? Do you want to sue someone? Are you an American? Do you want to be an American? Are you a Power Ranger? Do you want to have a legal battle with Hasbro? Do you have legal discussions with Disney? Don't call me. Call our lawyer at the Zero to Hero hotline. 555-553-5153. I forgot the number already, but call that number if you have any questions for the Zero to Hero lawyer. Muy gusto, Espanol. We're not your average family lawyer. Contact the law offices of Zero to Hero, and Zero to Hero.
And welcome back. Did that work?
Welcome back.
Was that good? Did that work?
Try it again.
All right. So, how has it been working with Willie and Mark?
Absolutely terrible. Absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, we
They're,
could've
they're
told you that.
horrendous people.
God dang.
No, I'm
The
joking.
worst kind of people, yeah.
Honestly, those two lads are an absolute blast to hang out with.
Wait,
Willie
aren't
and
they
me have
older than
come-
you? Can't you?
Yeah, like honestly, I feel like a kid sometimes. I turn 25 next year. I'm only 24. I'm the baby of the group, and I just feel like sometimes I'm just sat there like, this is not strange, but they're both cool dudes. They don't see the age difference. You know, they still hang out with me.
Well,
they're
they
still
have to
my
wear
friends
glasses to see the difference.
Ow.
Well, they're damn bifocals.
Damn. Y'all bad. Y'all wrong.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad that you found a positive influence because y'all all have creative minds with a link to Power Rangers. So, it's the possibilities are
that's it.
endless, and we're seeing. it.
Wait. Is it a link to the morphine?
Shut
ring?
up.
Oh,
Get out.
Oh man.
King out right now. Okay, I know you've been working a lot with Willie and Mark, and I know you're doing stuff in Mark's show, which is the Nerds Throwing Comics, which is spelled wrong every time.
Yep.
It's spelled Nerds Through Comics, or Throwing Comics, but it's spelled wrong.
yep.
And I don't think he understands the
It
the
hurts my
amount of
brain.
frustration I have about this, because
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, go look up Nerds Throwing Comics. They're like, what? Nerds Throw.
It's throw
Look at
throw
note.
comic.
Throw Comics, but it's pronounced
Yes.
through.
It's a play on words.
Yes, and it's very frustrating.
Yep, I agree.
But who do you play? What do you do for Mark?
So I'm one of his voice actors. Currently, at the moment, I'm playing Gordy in Star Trek and the Doctor Who crossover, which was very strange because I'm not a massive Star Trek fan. I've seen some episodes here and there, and they've all been different TV shows and stuff. I like Power Rangers, there's many of them. And so when he sent me the idea of me playing this character, I was like, right, I have to do my research here. So I actually googled him, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos of him and stuff, and I was like, right, I think I can work with this, and he likes the way I do it. I was like, alright, cool. I mean, if Mark's happy, I'm happy. So
Well, Mark, you can make Mark happy with pasties.
that's true.
Just give him treats. He's the happiest man alive. All right, so okay, so you're playing Gordy, and so what are you doing as Gordy in the comics?
As in what the character doing? What
Yes,
am I
What
doing?
the character's doing? Like, what's the character up to?
So currently, at the moment, if I think I'm up to date. The Doctor and the Star Trek fleet are trying to figure out why they're both their nemesises, their enemies, whatever you want to call them, are working together, and then why there's all this war going on. And honestly, I think Mark's doing a fantastic job of it, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it a lot too, because though there's like the episode 2 where he has that really weird noise in like the episode, and so I'm like, okay, I'm driving home, okay, and I'm sitting there and like this is okay. So pre to this, my muffler was like broken in my car, all right, and so it made a really really weird noise. And I'm sitting at a red light, and like it's making this weird noise anyways. And then the radio is going because I have my phone hooked into it, and I hear the most obscene noise, and I'm like, "Is my car gonna die?" I just bought this car.
It was just Mark making a noise. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like I'm gonna die. I'm at a red light. I am like 3 miles from home. Oh no, it's not gonna work. But it was. The story itself is good. I'm really happy you took that sound out of it.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, when it comes to working with Mark, he's one of my voice actors now, so we're kind of like to and fro, where like I'll send him a bunch of lines, he'll send me a bunch of lines, and we just work together.
Well, what's Mark working on for you? Like, I know he's going to be Mark, the Red Corners Ranger, in your, Future Foundation. Anything else he's doing for you?
Yeah, he's Sabretooth in Mutants for Hire, and I really like his voice. He puts a real growl on it. And a funny note about Mark: whenever he sends me his lines, it's one audio file for every line. It's just one long audio file. But he doesn't edit it. So the other day, there's a story that came out called War Against Gotham, which is in the same universe as Mutants for Hire. He plays Alfred, and the audio file was 7 minutes long. He only had a couple lines because he kept in all his mistakes. I'm sat there trying to edit this, laughing my head off because he's muddled up the same line about 6 times, and it's brilliant. And at the end, you can actually hear Mark going, "I'm just going to keep this in. I can't be on." And then sent it to me. I was like, "Yes, Mark." And then I haven't told him this is how he's going to find out. But I just think it's funny.
It's like
that
he does it, and
he's
his fingers hovering over the send button.
Waiting for it. Okay.
Yeah,
so we got payback for you for Mark. Okay, so he sent us some lines. Well, I got payback for you. So he sent us some lines to play Vulcan Skull in his new in one of his series. Okay, and so we sent him 17 minutes of audio files.
Yeah,
that line up that's 17 minutes long of us just jabbering on about
we weren't
stuff,
even talking
and
about
then doing the lines, and then just talking about other stuff, and then doing the last line, and then we were critiquing the lines as we're talking about them, and it's 17 minutes.
So don't feel bad. We didn't.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
We got him good.
Thank you. Karma is a dish served sweet. That was brilliant.
And so he gets back on with us. And he's like, "I can't play this by itself. I have to listen to the whole thing." And I'm like, "Yeah,
It's all right."
It was terrible, so bad.
That's funny.
Yeah, we got you back. You're good. Okay.
Thank you.
So from there, like you've been working with Mark with his stuff. I know you've been working with Willie for his stuff, right?
Yep.
What are you doing for Willie? What are you doing for Willie?
With the wash
into the scene.
Oh my. Saucy. As of this moment, me and Willie talk a lot. He comes to me when he has ideas and he wants to bounce off of certain theories and everything, and we're building Universe 19. I've helped him come up with a lot of stuff. And then starting as of next year, I'm actually going to have 2 stories that start in Universe 19. They're going to be on Tiger Tales as well, but they'll go on both. And I'm going to be a part of Universe 19 officially, which is really cool. And constantly he actually tells me a lot that I berate him with questions because I'll have an idea and he's working and I'll be like, "Mate, I've got an idea about this." And and I'm also drawing a lot of his Ultra Ranger stuff. I'm currently drawing all of his Ultra Ranger weapons at the minute.
When you sit there and wait till he's like having a really bad day, that you blow up his phone and like, "Willie, answer me! will you answer me?" And he's like, "Leave me alone for 10 minutes." 10 minutes.
Well, like when I first started working with Willie, we ended up video calling for I think about 2 hours, and in those 2 hours we managed to like not only connect Universe 19 to Future Foundation, but sort out something that he was working with Mark, and we just ended up with like a balloon full of like this Power Ranger nonsense for about 2 hours. It was great.
To be fair, I do like a 2-hour phone call with him here and there, and it's normally about 2 hours of me fixing all his podcasts and all his hardware stuff. That's how it normally goes for me.
That sounds about right. Yeah, he tells me what often that go.
It's like, Willie, what do you help with this week?
I feel like their conversations are like cutting down a tree. They just chop one down, and then like 10 minutes later, all of them are chopped down. And he's like, "Well, this escalated quickly."
I don't know how this got like this,
that's
but
it.
okay.
Escalated fast.
All right. So Willie told me to ask you about William.
Yes.
Who is William?
This has been interesting.
Oh, I knew this was gonna pop
So
up.
I didn't tell Billy about this at all, but I talked to Willie about this because you're in the show he's running, and I was like, well, what can I ask Ty? He's like, ask him about William, and I'm like, okay, please explain
Squire
to me
William.
what is William.
So I'll explain it for everyone listening. I have this character who takes the name of Billy William Cranston, and he lives in a place without time and space. That's where he lives. It's just a purple void for rocks, and he lives on one of them. And he has the abilities to manipulate the morphing grid, people, the universes, and he is the reason why everyone in Future Foundation has a morpher, why Magnificent Megaforce has a morpher, blah, blah, blah. But Mark and Willie are both now using William as plot hole devices, so whenever they need to explain something, they just explain that this mysterious person, aka William, just dropped it or left it there or did this, and yeah, he's now just a massive plot hole device.
So essentially the same thing when I do with when anyone asks me anything with Power Rangers, like, oh, what was this all about? Zeo powers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's literally it. Like the amount of time I want to do not a long story but a short story where you understand William's backstory a bit, and I'm going to be doing it via explaining what he's done to influence all these events. And honestly, the amount of times Willie's gone, I need this to happen, can we just blame William? I've gone, yeah, sure.
He's his own pin cushion.
Honestly, like,
I did
it's
like
great
in
though,
the
'cause,
last episode of
right.
Ultra Rangers when Draken was blipped, that one of your chessboard, William's chessboards, goes missing. And I'm sitting there, Jim, can you put some like those little math equation things on me? And I'm like, wait a minute.
You know how
Wait
like,
a minute.
like maybe like
Like the
I can put the
like
meme in.
yeah, the meme.
I can put the meme in and be like, the meme.
But yeah, I like
I
that.
could probably do that.
And then now we know
Yeah,
who William is. A plot hole guinea pig.
that's
Yeah.
literally it, mate. That's literally it. But yeah, there's some interesting things happening with William. He's going to be a big part of Mark's storyline with his Royal Britannia. He's going to be a big part of Willie's Universe 19, and he's the reason why all my stories exist in the first place in the world of the story. So
Okay. All right.
That's pretty
Okay.
good, man. So from here, though, I know you guys are working on one more project together, right? Called Cyberforce.
yeah, so Cyberforce was Willie's storyline. It is Willie's storyline. It's about his kids, and he's brought in some previous like Rangers to become part of the team, and their Power Rangers Cyberforce is a really cool storyline, and I've also helped him with that. And one day I say to him, "Oh, it'd be really cool if Cyberforce had a Silver Ranger." And when he was like, "Well, you can write something if you want, because I do some short stories here and there." I'm like, "Yeah, I may do." And then he said to me that he wanted the Silver Ranger to be in a couple, because Willie likes having couples. So I was like, "All right, she can be the White Ranger. There isn't a White Ranger in your universe. I'll do that." And then I actually listened to a zeotoheropod podcast where Billy talks about Orange Rangers, and there isn't like any of them really. And I'm like, I'll have a third Orange Ranger sorted. So I gave them weapons and stuff, and now my Cyberforce, which is Cyberforce V2 version 2, is on Universe 91, so it's like the flip of Universe 19, and it's just the three of them, and I've made it so it doesn't cross over with Willie's story in the sense of people going to get confused. I've explained everything the best I can, and yeah, we're eventually going to cross them over and have a bit of a Cyberforce with Cyberforce V2 sort of action.
Okay. I want to make sure we fully understand this. Billy, this is what you did. You did this. You started this.
Yep, I have an Orange Ranger because of you.
That's
All right.
hell yeah.
So,
We finally got an orange one.
well, I got an orange ranger.
I
Yeah.
influenced somebody.
And so with the Orange Ranger, I also made him really goofy. The way that I wrote him is very Ziggy from RPM, and one of my favorite things is the very first fight scene you see with the Orange Cyberforce Ranger is he beats up 3 bad guys by pushing a table into them, standing on the table, then stamping on their heads.
That's a normal Saturday for me.
Yeah, he's just. But he's
Well,
he's the scrawny one.
Oh.
He's just the funny one, and I think he's great.
Well, Billy is more of the guy getting his head stopped at the table.
Sometimes it worked.
Sometimes that worked real well.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, man. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take one more quick break, and then we're going to come back in, and we're going to talk about one other thing that Willie gave us to talk about called Ultra Grid. So we'll be right back. In one corner, we have Story Time with Cosplay Dude 637. In the other corner, we have Power Ranger Universe 19. They're going to go head-to-head this weekend in the Thunderdome. If you want to have your tickets now, pick them up tomorrow morning at shop.zeotohero.com. Or watch it on Zeo to Hero's YouTube channel if you can find it. Or you can just listen to the show where you normally find your podcast, like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and, if you're weird about it, Google Podcast. Check it out next week on your favorite platforms. Or find Willie or Cosplay Dude 637 on TikTok, Instagram, and not Facebook. So, Ty, Willie told us to talk to you about Ultra Grid. What about it? What's going on with it? What?
Yeah. What are we
What?
doing?
What?
Come on. Come on.
What?
Come on.
What is it about? What is it about?
Okay, maybe both back up a second. I'll explain. So the Ultra
I shall
Rangers
not
are
back up.
God.
Back up, dude. So Universe 19 has a team called the Ultra Rangers, and they're the original MMPR Rangers. Several years later, they've come back. There's a big bad that's stronger than anyone they've ever faced, and they get something called the Ultra Powers, and they have mythical creatures instead of dinosaurs, and their suits are slightly different, their weapons are a lot cooler, and me and Willie built this idea that if the morphing grid is like around us completely, and there's it's completely neutral, and there's battleizers, there's, you know, better Megazord formations and stuff like this. What if there was something higher? What if there was something above that? What if it was ultra level? And that's why we came up with the Ultra Grid. It's a layer of the morphing grid that's just like peak. It's almost like whatever the strongest Super Saiyan is, like it's like that compared to the morphing grid. And we have now come up with some rules to the Ultra Grid. So, for example, you have to be a Power Ranger first to access the Ultra Grid. The Ultra Grid can only be accessed if the threat that has occurred is stronger than anything else. And you don't have to use the same colors. You don't have to use the same weapons per se, but it has to be like you have to be linked to the morphing grid already. So that's why Willie decided to use the original main 6 Rangers, because a few of them have been multiple Rangers by this point. So I'm also going to be working off the Ultra Grid. There's one team per universe, so my Ultra Rangers will be in something else. I'll be using a different Ranger team, and I'm working with Willie on how we can make the my
Here's an idea. I'm gonna bounce off of you. Now, what if the Ultra Rangers, every time they morph, since you said that they're a higher level, what if, like, when they morph, they weaken the morphing grid for a short period of time, so they only have to use their morphs, like they have to think about their morphs, because they can't morph 2-3 times in an episode or something. Like, they weaken the grid for a short period of time while they morph. So, you know, maybe when they morph, they got like a 30-minute to an hour where they can't remorph because the grid's so low.
Jim, yeah, you're gonna have to send someone to Billy's house. That's not Billy, because that was actually genius.
Hey, he's smart
I
sometimes.
got sometimes I do
once
the
in a
smart.
while.
That was actually really good.
And today he gets a gold star.
I will have to converse with
go
Billy
ahead.
about that. That's
Feel
actually
free to
a
use
really
that
good
idea. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm gonna talk to Billy
Like
about
I was
that.
also
Pending.
thinking about like a universe that y'all can use, like where the Rangers failed and it's called like Power Rangers Apocalyptic Time or something like that, and it turns out like they're fighting evil underground, like guerrilla style warfare, like they don't have helmets or torn up suits all the time. Turns out they were in a simulation of like what would have happened in 50 years if like this, or if somebody came and destroyed the world.
That's cool. I like that. Okay,
That's just the Matrix.
Sometimes I got the smarts,
I like that. That's just the Matrix.
Jimmy
That
always
is
just likes
the
to undermine
Matrix.
my stuff, so.
Yeah, it's
I know, I've seen
easy. It's so easy.
Sometimes
to
I
do.
got this story about toys talking. He's like, that's just Toy Story. Ah.
Like, come on, Billy, get your shit
Yeah,
together.
but there's no such thing as original
Nah.
idea anymore, because every idea you can strip to its
Yeah.
barest form and you can link it to something.
What if like times were tough and we had to make an audio drama of like Jason, Tommy, and Zach being Magic Mike or something to make ends meet?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, someone's gonna do that now, aren't they?
Yeah,
Most likely
that's
it's gonna
exactly
happen,
what's
And who's the one that's gonna write it? Mark.
Yeah, that sounds about
Oh
right.
my god.
That sounds about right.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the Ultra Grid is just a thing we made that explains Ultra Rangers, and then it also explains certain events that are gonna happen in both mine and Willie's stories. And yeah, it's just something to play with. Like I said, I'm currently writing my own Ultra Rangers story using a Power Ranger team that has been and gone already, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun to play with something that we both made.
Ah.
All right. Well, that's really cool. So, okay, let me ask you this: Would the Ultra Grid have to endow powers to Rangers if a Zeo Ranger goes bad?
That's a head scratcher.
So, technically speaking, if Evil Zeo, whatever you want to call them, were a threat so powerful, stronger than, the Machine Empire or whatever, then technically speaking, yes, because it's the threat has to be stronger than anything that Pacific Range team has fought before, and that's why Willie's gone down this creature's so strong he managed to blip Draken out of existence. So
Okay, wait. Okay, so in this case, there's an episode of Samurai where the RPM Ranger shows up. RPM Red
Yes.
shows up to beat up
Yeah.
the Grinders. Would
which is the
that?
stupidest
I know, but
adaptation ever.
wouldn't that constitute like Rangers having to deal with stronger like villains, because their samurai swords or their samurizers could not cut through the Grinders? Would that be in the consideration?
No, because they managed to get past that. In a sense, when we say ultra level threat,
Only one Ranger got past that. That was the Red Samurai, because all the other ones got blipped.
Yeah.
but yeah, when we're talking ultra level threat, that's actually the thing I'm stuck on at the minute with the team that I've chose. I'm still trying to dabble on, okay, what threat can I do? I've kind of come up with a set idea, which me and Willie discussed today, funny enough. And yeah, it needs to be like Thanos, stronger than Thanos sort of level, where if we leave them there, like in a matter of minutes to days, we're all dead. Sort of scenario.
What do you do like?
And they don't take their time either, like.
So okay,
most
wait.
Power
You
villains.
need a stronger than Thanos level villain, right?
Yep.
Okay, Billy, you want to think of one?
Has
real
to
quick?
be. It
I
has to
know-
be somebody. It has to be somebody that people would recognize, like a name recognition, and it has.
Has to gone bad. Is it like free range? You can do like anything, like any kind, not anything, but like you can pull
Yeah.
from like any kind of source material. Bahamut.
Now,
You want to do Thor?
No.
We can do Thor. Thor's
No,
pretty fun.
who-
Not Marvel
the Red
Thor,
Ranger-
like actual Thor.
I was thinking about
Yeah,
the Red
actual Thor.
Ranger from the
1984.
Squadron, the first Super Sentai.
Squadron Ranger.
I can't.
No. Jack Hughes.
Jack Hughes.
Yeah, Jack Hughes Ranger. Jack Hughes
Yeah,
led.
the first Sentai team.
Why don't you use the White Ranger, the Rainbow White Ranger
Oh.
from it?
Yeah, that too. I was just saying, like, maybe somewhere around, but it has to be a name that we would recognize, like the.
That's what I'm thinking, like Thor or like Muhammad or some kind of like god level like entity.
Yeah, fair.
Some kind of that
Well,
would work.
if me and Willie do go with the idea that I came up with and we manage to make it work, then Jim specifically will actually like what I did.
Don't you tell me what I like and not like.
Because you actually hate this character in Power Rangers.
I already know who it is.
I
It's
hate?
Jason.
What? I
No.
don't hate Jason. I actually think Jason's kind of fun.
Okay, you think this character's stupid then in the lore of Power Rangers. I'm not gonna pinpoint it for you.
I swear,
but
yeah, if it's
yeah,
another
you
Tommy thing, I'll be so mad.
No, it's not
Oh my
Tommy.
God.
Don't worry. I'm actually doing one thing with Tommy in Future Foundation, which is coming up.
Who do I
and
not
it's not
like?
even.
Like, no.
I'm gonna start.
I think Jay's annoying, but not bad. It's not.
So I'm just gonna say
Justin.
this now. I'm just gonna get a bunch of messages off
Yeah.
Jim over the next couple of days.
No,
Is this person?
because
Is
after
it
this,
person?
I'm not gonna care after this. I'm wait till it comes out, but until we get done recording, I'm gonna be curious. It's not Justin. I don't think Justin's that annoying.
Okay, it's not. He's not a Power Ranger, but he is good. But you just find him annoying. You find his existence annoying.
Gosei?
No. Oh god, man. What would Gosei do? He's just a
I
head.
don't know.
He'd
Be
just
annoying?
stare at them. He'll sit there, talk about the ingredients of Pringles.
Huh?
A good guy.
That's not a ranger.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a ranger that I find annoying.
Mentor G.
Yep.
I find Mentor G is very, very annoying.
He is, yeah. I find him
unpaid
annoying too.
intern G. What are you talking about? Unpaid intern G.
You find his existence stupid.
Ah.
Me and you have actually had this conversation before, Jim. Actually, funny enough.
Oh, we're gonna play this back.
Oh no! Wow, I don't know.
I've got Jim on the ropes. Yay!
Is it a main character that shows up a lot?
No, but he is a massive plot device in the series. That
Got
he's
it.
in.
Child Zord King.
The little
Child
boy
yeah.
from Lost Galaxy or Wild Force.
Oh,
Yes.
Kite, you mean?
Kite. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
It's Kite.
Small
Okay.
child. I'm better than you, God Zord King. Yeah. It's,
So my idea was that Kite doesn't turn back to Animus, and he ends up hating the world, and he grows up as an adult hating the world and gaining power, and he destroys his universe. He cleanses it, air quote cleanses it, and then he goes to my universe that I've made, which is where the Ultra Wild Force Rangers turn up, and he is now the bad guy, and he's trying to cleanse that world too. That was my idea. Me and Willie are kind of toying with it.
Okay.
So he's got god powers because it's Animus. Animus is technically their god, whatever. And he destroys the Animaria straight away. That gets destroyed. The Wild Force swords get destroyed straight away. And that's why they acquire the Ultra Rangers. That's why they become Ultra Rangers.
Interesting.
So I say, air quotes.
Okay.
he's already like overpowered as all get out as little boy God King. So he's gonna be even more powerful because he was already he
That's
was
the
already like world changing powerful, but he was like, I am better
Yes.
than you. So
Yeah, he annoyed me in Wild Force. Not gonna lie, I liked Wild Force, but Animus just made no sense.
God, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Here, become Power Rangers. You failed as Power Rangers. Leave.
like yeah, you guys are Power Rangers. Bye. What?
Power Rangers.
You guys suck.
Power
Later.
Rangers.
My goodness. Okay. Well, we're gonna take a real quick break, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna find out where you can find Ty at. Bye. Right back.
Are you adjusting in a world of Rockies? Did you take your car out and joy spin and dent it? Did you grow big and connect with 4 other Zords and wrecked a building and dented your side panel? Then look no further for Demetrius Dent Removal. 3 easy steps, but only need 2. Demetrius Dent Removal will get rid of anything that has a concave in I don't know where, but no questions asked and no dents left behind. Call 1-800-DEMS-DENTS. Well, we found where Tai is. Tai's out in what you said, inside, outside, somewhere in Wales. Oi.
The question is he at a Tesco?
Right.
Maybe. There is no proof I don't, but there is no proof that I do.
For all us American listeners, Tesco is like a gas station. Like Texaco.
There is actually petrol stations, air quotes. There is actually Tesco's petrol stations here, but Tesco's also a supermarket.
Oh, that's right.
It's like a fancy 7-Eleven. Do you guys have 7-Elevens or no?
I
No?
don't think so.
Okay,
No.
because I know.
Our supermarkets and stores and stuff literally make no sense compared to your lot.
Okay, so there's one European country that has 7-Eleven, and it is I want to say it's one of the Nordic ones. So one of the Nordic has 7-Eleven, and so when I was working as a secret shopper, the store I had to go to was 7-Eleven, and they wanted me to get my passport to go over there to do all of them, and I'm like, I don't speak the language, and they're like, so, and I'm like, dude, come on, like, if you don't speak the language, they're gonna stand there like a sore thumb, and you have like 3,000 to do. Come on.
But the question is how is y'all's COVID restrictions? Are they just completely gone?
Yeah, pretty much. Some of the hospitals and doctors' places and stuff like that request you to wear a mask. But superstores and buses and public places like that, I mean, it's kind of just faded away. You may have the odd one person, but it's pretty much gone now.
The question is, do you still wear a mask at all or no?
Where I live, no, because there's no one really around.
Yeah. Fair.
And I the only time I ever catch a bus is to my public library, and that's about it.
Fair.
And then I'm in my partner's car. My partner drives, so I'm usually in her car, so like it's perfectly fine then as well. So like I'm cool a lot of the time.
When I sent them stuff over there, right? Like Mark was easy, right? Mark's address was pretty simple. God forbid trying to fill out the form to send to Tai right here. 3 different names for. How do you pronounce it?
Okay, right. I'm English. I'm not actually from Wales. I grew up the first 10 years of my life in England. Okay, I'm from England through and through. I go to England like 4 times a year. Okay, so I mispronounce Welsh stuff all the time. My partner as well. She looks at me really weirdly. So it's the Welsh way of putting it is Llyswen, or what that means. But it's actually, I say, because I'm English, Llyswen. It has 2 L's for those people listening. Yeah. It makes no sense. I'm confused too. I've lived here for about 15 years, and I'm just as confused as everyone else.
Isn't Wales? Isn't there a place in Wales that has like 15 letters in its name?
Yeah, it's like one of the longest words.
No, it's like 30 something letters in its name, and it's really weird to say, and it starts with an X.
Yeah, it's like one of the longest words.
And it's not like here where X is like what X makes a W sound. Over there it makes an X sound.
Yeah, like there's double D is a separate letter, double L is a separate letter, and I'm just sat there going, I have a hard enough time speaking English, and I'm Wales.
That's how it is with Spanish too. You get double letters, it's a whole different letter. Yeah.
You stare at them like you're confused. They're like, "You hungry?" I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Do you want a taco? Yeah, I want a taco. You got burritos back there? Exactly how this conversation goes down multiple times a week with my neighbors.
Yeah.
Fair.
No, I love my neighbors. They're great.
So, now that we found where you live, where can we find you on social media?
So Tiger Tales is the YouTube channel that we've been speaking about. That's where you find all my stories and everyone that voice acting and everything. On TikTok, I am Tai Tiger 777. I'm just a nerd on TikTok talking about nerdy stuff. So if that interests you, and then my Instagram is Tai Tiger 475. If people want to follow me on Instagram.
Gotcha. I'll have to get that later because I need to follow more people on Instagram. Yeah.
Fair.
I think we follow him on Instagram from the main account.
I hope.
So Billy,
Yeah,
where
you
can
don't
people?
have many accounts. I follow you.
Yeah, where can Billy people find you, Billy?
Well, I'm at zeotoheropod.
Nowhere.
All across board. I usually answer people on like comments. Jimmy deals with like the messages and stuff. But I don't really use my personal accounts for like Instagram and stuff like that.
Which is called Lightning Inbox Collect.
And then you can follow my Twitter at @1TexasBilly.
We gotta get you like on point with your social media stuff. So we have to get them all the same across the board. Yeah, like mine's not so funny, Jim, across the board
you're not
everywhere. Exactly, I'm not funny at all. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all of it, not so funny, Jim. All of it. You can find me across the board. Well, not Facebook, but you can find me everywhere else.
All
Not
right.
So funny, Jim.
Sounds fair.
You know what? We're doing it now. All right, everyone. We're gonna learn how to do changing your name on all social medias to all add up to about roughly.
Take
the
a
same.
note.
Billy, get your computer out. We're doing this.
Listen here, Squire.
Listen here, you little dummy.
What?
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Big dummy.
You big dummy.
All right, guys. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. We learned a lot more stuff about what's going with Ty's things. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great week. Catch you guys later.
Bye.
Do you want to be a hero, but you're not? Do you want to be a Jiro or a Kojiro, but you can't because you're not Japanese? Have you considered Zeo to hero?
Remember, heroes come and go. Idiots are forever.
Jimbalee!
Welcome to tonight's episode. Breaking news. Oh, damn. Okay. I messed that up bad. Tonight's top story. Jim, fake beard? Possibly. Find out tonight at 10. No, tell me now. He's my brother.
You ever claim my beard's fake again? I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you. I swear to God. This is mine. I grew it myself. It's all mine.
So they have like a segment yesterday on the news, like a little commercial, and it's this one I've been telling jokes about forever, right? It said, what's in your water could be harming you tonight at 10. And I was sitting there, I was like, no, tell me now, I'm drinking water.
That reminds me of this Simpsons episode where they're like, do you know where your children are? And he's like, no, I don't. How many times did I tell you?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you know where your children are? No.
All right. And then right here, Jimmy, you put that little, where they scratch the disc or scratch the record, and then we'll start off like...